everybody, Sherry from the Army Wellness Center, Fort Sill, and this is a sequence of yoga poses that can help to improve balance. Yoga is a good way to increase balance because in a practice or in yoga poses, you're working on core stability, core strength, you're breathing, and you're also moving with core stability from one pose to the other. Now, it's preferable if you work on this in your bare feet, just because wearing shoes is going to give you a wider base of support. If you are newer to balance or have any reason where your balance, you experience dizziness or anything like that, I would put yourself by a wall so that you can put your hand on the wall. All right, the first thing we're going to do is look at the feet, because core stability and balance is going to begin with the position of your feet. So you want them to be hip distance apart. And what you want to feel is even weight distributed between the balls of the feet, each side, and the center of the heel. And then if you can, lift up your toes, which will help to engage your arches. And the muscles that are connected into the arches, you can lay your toes back down, will start to engage the legs and the pelvis area. And you won't feel a burn or anything from this. It's just a solid connection. Then, if you can imagine yourself squeezing an imaginary ball between your legs just above your kneecaps. Now we've got the inner thighs engaged, which also engage the pelvic muscles and the hip muscles, which get into the deep core. Then you're going to lower your arms down, palms open, and stand up very tall. So here comes the stretch. Just as important as it is to be strong, we have to have the ability of our muscles to lengthen as well. So standing up tall but not taking your shoulders with you will make sure that our chin is level to the floor. And this is a fully engaged standing pose. We actually have muscles that are engaged here from the feet all the way to the crown of the head, which is what we don't normally have in everyday life. If we're standing behind a register and working, we're usually standing on one foot. We use our hand that we're most dominant in more often usually than our other hand. And so we create those little imbalances in the daily activities that we do. Plus that can translate into our workout as well. All right, now we're going to widen our base of support by taking our right leg back so that the leg is long. My foot's going to angle out to about, if you think about a clock, to about 2 o'clock on the clock. Now, I want to keep my left foot balanced like it was, heels and the ball of the feet touching, drawing up through those arches, and the back of my foot down as well. We can add our arms here, or if we want to, we can add more challenge to the balance by bringing the arms overhead. Then we'll lower those arms down. We're going to step back up, find our engagement again, and then step back with the other foot. We want our hips forward and arms. We can also feel a little bit more emphasis on our core, but on our exhale breath by tuning in to how that feels when the exhale breath comes out of the body. There's a little bit of a tightening, and you want to focus that tightening above the belly button, not at the belly button area. Good, and then step back. This time we're going to step back and balance on the back heel of the right foot. So now we've challenged our balance by lifting the right heel, lunging our left leg. Arms can be at heart or overhead. And then we can add some movement to this, challenging our balance a little bit more. I felt my left foot roll to the outer side of my left foot there as I did that. So really concentrating and moving trying to keep the body balanced. And then we'll step back up again, and I'll tall posture here, everything engaged. And let's step back first to find our balance in our wide stance here with our back foot elevated, arms overhead, and then flowing this. Good, and then stepping up. Now we're going to practice balancing on one foot. So we will do the tree pose by taking our foot here if we want to keep a toe down. So we're just taking and making this right foot is not going to have as much support. Or bring it up off the floor and completely balance on the left leg, or even up to our inner thigh. We'll take our arms out, and then if we can, after you become steady, this is where you would challenge yourself. If you wanted to, you can look to your right hand and then to your left hand. And I'm having a really hard time doing this. Left leg is not as good as my right, because I'm right-handed. This is a fun activity if you work with kids too that you can do, because they'll get a kick out of trying to do some of this stuff. Good, and then let's set that all down. And then try our other side. And then looking. On the other side, I didn't even hardly move my head. Some days are going to be better than others, depending upon just how we feel that day in terms of energy and how our minds are focused. Okay, and we set that down, all right? Another thing that you can try, and I don't recommend you try this if you're really just gaining your balance, this could result in a fall, or you can hold on to the wall, is to try to close your eyes. Now, one of the things I would recommend is to stay at a lower position of tree, and then place your hands wherever you want, and then close your eyes, and notice what happens when you take away one of your senses, and try to do this. And then relax. And then one thing I noticed too that I forgot to tell you too is to not hold your breath. And then relax that back down. All right, we're going to take and lift do one more, lifting our right leg up, taking our left hand to the outside of our right thigh. If we are healing a lower disc injury or herniated disc, I do not recommend this twisting at all. You can just simply hold up the leg. But if you're good to go, we're going to take the right hand back, and then we're going to challenge the balance by trying to look to the back hand. This is a standing spinal balance twist. If you get, like I just fell out, you want to make sure you come forward and neutral in the spine. Set yourself up before you go into the twist. And then lower that back down and lift the other leg. And finding that base of support here in that right foot. Excellent. All right, good job. This is a really good thing to do, particularly if you're getting older and there's the fear of falling. Practicing balance moves Maybe even doing yoga, if you like doing that, will help you to maintain balance, because as we close their eyes in tree, that's what starts to happen as people get older, is the eyesight isn't as good, and the eyesight definitely, as you can see, affects balance. Hope you have fun with it. Stay healthy, stay well.